Hi, welcome back to the garden. As you can see by the pond behind me, we got a bit of rain. And sorry there's no update last week. My folks were visiting, so I just didn't get around to having the time to record a video. So we did get a lot done in the garden. So over here, I did finally get all the onions planted. And as you can see, these little guys are standing up and looking quite happy. We got a huge amount of rain. And I put down some 13-13-13 fertilizer on all of these. And haven't had to do much other than that. If we go over here, the carrots also seem to be doing really well. They've definitely got a lot bushier. Everything in here got fertilized too. My wife's Bokchoy are producing so much I don't know what we're going to do with it all. Like, here's the first planting. There's the second planting coming up. It's just a huge amount of bok choy. Speaking of huge amounts, I've been running the dehydrator to dehydrate a bunch of the chard here, and I still have more chard coming up than I have any use for. Some of those leaves are huge too. We went by the local feed store is Stanley's Seed and Feed, and they had seeds for just an incredibly cheap price. So I bought a bunch of radishes just because we had extra room and threw those down. Actually, my wife threw this group of radishes down. I threw some radish seed down in the raised bed next to the onions. My wife's radishes here, like you can see, we had some little guys coming up there and some more over here. And like these are less than a week old. And we've got all this growth coming. And they were just lightly sprinkled. These seem to be doing fine. The ones I threw in the end of the onion bed, because I didn't have enough onions to fill this bed here, so it's half radishes, none of those came up. I suspect the seeds just washed away in all the rain that we got last week. Continuing over though, oh wow, forgot about that. That's the second set of carrots. And as you can see, these things are just all big and bushy. So hopefully we'll have some good carrots to eat later. These are the new chard. They're not quite as big as the old chard. I haven't harvested anything off these, but I suspect I should start soon. Over here, this was the pepper bed. And the peppers I planted in here, most of them died, and the ones that didn't die are tiny. So I gave up and just kind of tilled this to bring up the grass clippings that were in here. My plan is to mix a bunch of this stuff in. It's a premium potting soil from Bokchoy. Basically picked this up at the feed store. There was like 11 bucks a bag, so I'm just going to try to lightly cover over these beds with that stuff. Walk over to the tomatoes. It's gotten cold, which I think is causing my tomatoes not to actually turn red. But I've got a lot of these tiny little tomatoes, and no end rot, unlike the aromas I tried earlier this year. There's the oldest set of tomatoes, but they're not actually turning red at all. And actually I've got some more down here. And I've got lots of little flowers. You can see flower there. Camera doesn't want to stay focused because it's dark out. Some more flowers over there. I just got a bunch of little flowers growing on all of these. Yeah, some more flowers on this one. And some more there. Over there, more flowers. For the most part, these seem to have recovered from the minor freeze that we got. I'm expecting a really hard, like 22, 25 degree freeze right before Christmas. So this is all going to die, and I'll just harvest things green before that happens with whatever's there. Oh, and before I forget, if we look way over there, I'm getting started with putting up a fence for chickens. I still need to put the actual chicken wire up around all those T-posts, but they're at least in the ground. It was really soggy, so they went in easy, but I just didn't want to deal with... Oops. Camera doesn't want to behave well. I just didn't want to deal with trying to tie all of the chicken wire on while I was standing in 4 inches of water. And I also created a new small compost pile at the end, which is oak leaves that I pulled out of the front of underneath the big tree out there, along with grass clippings. I just pushed a push mower through all of the grass near the house. My riding mower doesn't actually want to start, so that's going back to United Ag and Turf to get fixed. And in the meantime, like once things dry up a little bit more, I'm probably going to run a push mower around all of this, or as much as I can. It's a wired mower, so I kind of have to play with the cord. But just grab all that grass clippings and compost it. See if I can get some free nutrients out of it. But anyways, that's it. Excuse me. Anyways, that's it for this week. Hopefully y'all are having better years gardening than I did. You know, I might as well show you guys the stuff out here too. This was the fertilizer I picked up. The multi-pellets plant food 13-13-13. This, it's like a 40-pound bag, and it cost me somewhere in the ballpark of $40. Inside it looks like that, and I just very lightly sprinkled it. Probably a section about maybe 50% bigger than this bowl was enough to cover the entire garden out there. So hopefully this will last for a long time. And here's some of the seeds we got. And Stanley Seed, they're an amazingly good deal. This is watermelon seed. We'll start indoors in January. But like this entire packet of seed, that was 60 cents. Same thing with this packet of seed. I mean, 60 cents for all that seeds. You go to Home Depot or Lowe's, that much seed would cost you $3. This one, the radish, there's actually twice as much seed in here. I'm not sure what I'm even going to do with it all. But that was $1.20 for all that seed. And same thing, this was $1.20. I should throw these out later. Anyway, I say throw them out on dirt. But that's just an amazing deal. So if you happen to be in the College Station area, it's really worth the drive out to Iola just to get seeds at Stanley Seed and Feed. Or Feed and Seed. Whatever it is. It's the only store in Iola where that actually sells gas. But they've got seeds just at amazing prices. So I would recommend that. In my wife's Calamansi tree, we brought indoors and just stuck it by the window so it can get light. And I think we might actually have a second tree starting. A seed that just started late in the same pot. So we'll see what we get. But this also got fertilized, and the leaves are looking a whole lot healthier, a whole lot greener than they were before.